All right, what's up, everyone? Today we're going to look at the dollar and the SPX intermarket relationship chart, and basically just showing how these two tend to move opposite of each other. And this is a really very useful chart, honestly. And it's not a coincidence, right? That when the stock market bottomed, when the bear market bottomed, that the dollar also topped out. And we'll break down this chart. It's one of the different chart layouts available in the different chart layout packages. Now, as I mentioned, this intermarket relationship chart compares US stocks and the dollar index, all right, via the SPX and DXY. And so you've got, SPX on the top. We've got the dollar here on the Dixie of DXY on the bottom. And investors and traders are going to use this chart to identify the divergences between the US stock market and the US dollar. These divergences can signal potential market corrections or trend reversals. For example, a rising dollar with a falling stock market might indicate risk aversion among investors. So let's go ahead and look at that, right? We see the bottom of the bear market here, and we see a rising dollar with stock market that's falling, okay? And then what do we see here? We see the opposite of that. We see a falling dollar with a rising stock market bullish environment, okay? Now, the chart highlights specifically a 4-month divergence between the rising US dollar and falling US stocks indicated by the red arrows. Now it says divergences here, but they're already moving separate of each other. But this is diverging from their normal path. All right. So what do we mean by that? Well, we talked about how, normally you see the dollar moving up and stocks moving down here. We had this 4-month period here where the dollar was going up and the stock market was also going up. And most recently, right, it's the summer of 2024 at the time of this recording. Most recently, we just had a quote unquote rug pull here with over a 5% drop. Okay, that is a 5% pullback correction in the market. And the last time we saw this 4-month divergence, it actually ended up leading us into the bear market. So, the economy and credit conditions and, risk appetite wasn't as bad as it was over here. That ultimately led into the bear market. So we just got a standard correction. But this was something I was pointing out to a lot of viewers on the channel was that, hey, we've got this 4-month divergence again. If history is going to play out again, like it did in the past, we could potentially see a rug pull. That's why I had the little questions here. And you see we had a correction, and obviously we've come out of that correction since and made new highs. So this is something that can be very useful. It's also just something to understand from a general standpoint. Okay, is that if you want stocks to go up, right, typically you're going to want the dollar to go down, right? A weaker dollar is usually going to be a tailwind rather than a headwind for the stock market. Okay, so that's something you can look at. So again, once again, this chart helps investors by providing a visual representation of the relationship between the US stock market and the US dollar. It identifies the key divergences and helps identify potential market corrections, aiding in making informed trading and investment decisions. Right. And so, as I mentioned, when you start to see these periods where the dollar and the stock market are moving the same, one of them is often lying, and you're going to see one of them often correct and move in the other way. As you see here, the dollar just continued going higher and the stock market went higher and then corrected. Same thing that happened over here. So I really like this one a lot. The dollar, I pay attention to the dollar a lot more than the VIX these days, just because of, how the VIX has been working. And if you enjoyed today's video, consider joining the Investment Intelligence Trading Group. Right. In there, you get 20 plus swing trade ideas every single week. We have custom scripts and indicator, exclusive intel via the stock bot that also does much more, but you can get unusual option activity, dark pool data, gamma levels, more. You get these exclusive chart layouts. Okay. Now, if you guys don't want to join the Discord and you're only interested in the chart layouts are also available for purchase separately in a link in the description below as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.